You ready to do this, Jay?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yes, sir.
As you can see, I am not in the kitchen alone, and on my last trip to New Orleans, this dish was put in front of me, so I had to create my own version. I can't wait to show you guys my recipe. Enjoy.
Welcome to Around the Armstrong Table. I got a special guest in the kitchen with me. My older brother gonna be cooking with me, and we're gonna be making some seafood lasagna. To get the lasagna started, the first thing we're gonna do is season our water. And it's gonna be a couple different seasonings that we're gonna use. We're gonna use some Old Bay, we're gonna use some of that Slap Your Mama, and we're also gonna use some Danos. The Danos we're gonna use is the reduced sodium, so you don't have to worry about it being over seasoned, but this is all we're gonna need to get the pasta water ready. So my brother is gonna be focusing on the shrimp. And what he's gonna do is get the shrimp peeled, and we got some big old, just ginormous shrimp. I'm telling you, I can't wait to season these bad boys up, put that in the lasagna. Man, they're gonna be on point. So the first thing we're gonna start cooking is some mushrooms. And I know what y'all saying, mushrooms, lasagna? Okay, what are you doing, Mike? Just trust me, okay? So I got some avocado oil in the pan, also put in a little bit of butter, and I got some pre-diced portobello mushrooms. And I'm telling you, it's just gonna add a nice tender bite. Now, if you don't wanna add the mushrooms, you don't have to, but I'm a big fan of mushrooms and I like them in this particular dish. I think it's just gonna add a nice flavor to it. So of course, you gotta add some shallots. You could also use onions here. If you are gonna use onions, I would recommend a sweet onion, and that's just gonna really enhance the flavors. But I like shallots because they're a little bit lighter in their flavor. Doesn't have that pungent onion flavor. So I'm gonna season up the portobello mushrooms and get those ready for the shallots that I'm gonna throw in. And I'm telling you, if you could smell the house already just with the start of this lasagna, it's already where we need it to be. So of course you guys know, we gotta have some garlic in this dish. It's a semi-Italian / Cajun dish, so you gotta have garlic. And that's about 4 cloves of garlic that are chopped up. Man, I'm telling you, it's just gonna be so delicious. And if you've seen any of my dishes in the past, you guys know I'm a huge fan of sherry. Adds that great background note of sweetness. And I'm telling you, all of my dishes do not taste the same, so I want to make sure people realize that fact. But the sherry does add some richness, and then with some of the other ingredients, of course, it does change and enhance the flavor. So to make our lasagna special, we threw in some lobster tails. I also wanted to get a few shrimps in that water to enhance the flavor of the broth. What I'm going to be doing is ladling that broth into the sauce portion of this dish, and that broth is golden. I mean, that's liquid gold in my opinion. And I'm also going to keep that broth regardless if I don't use all of it. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to take all of the scales off of the shrimp, and of course of the lobster claws or the skin of the lobster. I'm also going to put that in there, and then I'm going to freeze that and use that for a future dish. So don't get rid of that. As you can see, that's exactly what I'm doing because I want to make sure I get all of that flavor. So let's get our lobster prep for this dish. What I'm going to do is go ahead and get that cut open and get all that delicious meat out of that lobster. And I'm going to get that chopped up before I get to the point where I make my ricotta cream sauce. So I'm going to make like a ricotta cream that is going to go as the spread in the middle of the lasagna. And then what I did, I threw in some crab meat to mix in with it. I mean, come on, man. Put in a little bit of heavy cream with that right there. Mix that all up. Don't judge me. I know I got a little sloppy on my mix there, but it's all good. And I also put in some Cajun seasoning, a little bit of that Tony's, and we're gonna get this all mixed up. And then I'm also gonna throw in some Parmesan cheese with that. So that alone, you could put that on anything and it's gonna be good. I'm telling you. the beauty of this, ricotta doesn't have a whole lot of flavor. So I just added a ton of flavor to the ricotta. And that's exactly what you want, man. I mean, come on. So this is gonna be a white sauce. I added some heavy cream into the sauce, and we're gonna let that cook down, and then we're gonna add some cheese into that as it starts to cook down. Get the lobster chopped up, and that lobster is gonna go in. The lobster is pretty much almost cooked, so I don't wanna overdo it and make it super chewy or anything like that. I want the lobster to stay tender. But reduce your heat, and then start adding in some cheese. I used a combination of some Fontina cheese, and you know it's not a party without some Havarti. So I added some Havarti in there as well, and you just want to slowly add more of that cheese in there and let that sauce cook down. But make sure, turn your heat low so it doesn't start to clump up on you. I've had that happen to me before, and it's no fun. But just keep stirring, get that cheese incorporated with the sauce, and then really all of the components for this dish is pretty much done. Now, of course, we got to add the lobster in, and I got that bubbling up just a little bit. We're gonna add that lobster in and fold it in there, and I'm telling you, man, you could just eat that right there and make that some lobster and mushroom fondue if you want to, but it's exactly where we need it to be. Throw some fresh parsley in there, and the sauce is done. Now it's time to get this lasagna assembled. First thing, we're gonna ladle some of that delicious sauce on the bottom of my baking dish, and that's gonna act as the base for the layers of the lasagna. Next, we're gonna come in with our noodles that we already cooked in that delicious broth, and I'm telling you, the flavor of the noodles, I went ahead and tasted a piece of the noodle with all the seasonings we added in. They're already delicious. So we got those ready to go, and like I said, they're not all the way cooked, but they're almost there. Then next, you want to spread the ricotta and crab mixture in. It's a little bit tedious and it takes a little bit of time, but it's not a bad way to do it. Next, you want to come in with your second layer of sauce, and again, it's going to repeat itself. And we are going to add more cheese in the middle, and it will hold together. That's the beauty of it. That ricotta mixture is going to act as our binder, but this is exactly what you want. And again, this is my version of this dish. I have never made this dish before, but let me tell you, the end result, it's crazy good. So guys, try it. I promise you, you're gonna absolutely love it. If you could, please take the time to like and subscribe to my channel, and trying to continue to grow the channel. We also want people to watch the videos in its entirety, but I'm telling you, I'm enjoying every minute of doing this. So we got some more of that Havarti and some more of that Fontina we're adding on the top of this, and then we're gonna get this bad boy in the oven, and we're gonna bake it for about 45 minutes. Just look at that beautiful seafood lasagna. Again, if you're not a fan of mushrooms, leave them out. But everything else in here, I'm telling you, I cannot wait for people to try this dish and make this for themselves. It is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. All right, brother, what are you thinking, man?
Man, it looks delicious.
Man, I'm ready to eat that. I think you're ready to eat that too.
Let's do it. Let's cut that thing open.
This right here
Yes.
is the truth.
Dish.
I'm telling you,
Beautiful dish.
y'all gonna love this one.
Yes, we are.
My man. And the best part about this, I got to do this with my brother. I had a ton of fun making this dish with him. We enjoyed the process, and I'm just happy we had the opportunity to do it together. But this is a good one. So I thank you guys again. Again, please like and subscribe to the channel, and on to the next one, as I like to say. Thank you.